Hey guys, so I'm going to do a really quick video. Well, I doubt it's going to be quick, knowing me, but I'm going to do a video kind of explaining just what the Facebook post I posted the other day was pretty much about. If you stay for the entire video, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I'm going to touch base on a lot of things. So if you guys do not follow me on Facebook, basically what I had posted was that I am single now. Sad, not happy. So yeah, basically me and Joey are kind of taking a break. I mean, I find breaks stupid, and I'm sorry if I don't want to offend anyone by saying this. This is just my personal opinion. I find breaks stupid, and I think if you're going to take a break, then you might as well just break up. You know what I'm saying? Like, breaks, you have all these rules like, oh, we're going to take a break, but we're not going to see other people and all that stuff. It's just like a whole mess. It's like, if you need to take a break from someone, just break up for a while. That's just my personal opinion. And me and Joey, basically, I don't want to get into too much detail because it is kind of personal, and I don't like airing my, dirty laundry all over for people to hear about and all that stuff. Basically, we hit a rough patch in our relationship, you know. Me and Joey have been together for 4 years, about to be 4 years. Our anniversary is September 18th. We met in 2009, and the first 2 years of our relationship were like kind of a honeymoon stage. We were madly in love with each other and all that stuff. I had gotten pregnant when I was 16. I met him when I was 15. So a year later, I got pregnant, and then that's when I had my abortion. If you don't know about that story, I'll put a link to the abortion story in the description box. Moving on. I got an abortion. Then after that, a year later, I got pregnant again with little Mita, which right now she is in her crib. Hi, Boogie. Silly baby. Anyways, back on topic, me and Joey, we hit a rough patch in our relationship. We're kind of struggling with our compatibility. I don't want to get too deep into it, but things need to change on both ends, you know. I'm not Miss Perfect, he's not Mr. Perfect. And we met when we were 15, you know. We didn't know who we were. We still don't know who we are, pretty much. We're still finding ourselves and all that stuff. And when you're 15 to now, I've matured a lot. I mean, things are just different. It's so difficult to describe to you guys. I have the perfect sentence concocted in my head, but I can't splurt it out. Basically, we're growing, and as we grow with each other, we're learning new things, and what we used to like when we were 15 years old, we don't like anymore, you know what I'm saying? And we're changing. He wants to do this, I want to do this, you know, and we just have to meet at a middle point. We have to meet at a middle ground. We're just taking a break. We're giving ourselves a breather. The fact that I just had our baby, you know, she's a newborn, she requires all of my attention. So I can't really it's really hard to manage, to juggle both of these situations. I have my newborn, and then my relationship is struggling, so I need to juggle both of them, and it's just too much work for the both of us. Me and Joey, he has work at night. It's just chaotic right now, and I hate chaoticness and drama, and I dislike it so bad. So we're just taking a break, a nice deep breather, let us miss each other, all that stuff. And if we find that we are better and we feel even more alive when we're not together, then we won't be together. Maybe it's best that we stay as friends. But if we find that we took our breath and we took our space and we really just miss each other and we just want to give it a try, then we'll give it a try. I never told you guys how me and Joel actually met and how our story kind of happened together. And I was going to do this in a Draw My Life, but for the life of me, I cannot understand how I'm going to work the Draw My Life, because I bought a whiteboard. I bought all the necessary things to make the Draw My Life, but I don't have a stand for my camera. So trying to figure out how I'm going to angle my camera it's just a whole mess. So instead, I'm still going to do a Draw My Life, but I'll edit this part out of it. Me and Joey met when I was 15. I had just transferred schools from Florida to New York City, and I've lived in New York City all my life. but I had a grandfather in Florida, and he told me, hey, for your high school years, you should totally just live with me and not live with your mom. And for some reason, I thought that was a good idea. And my mom let me because she saw how much I really badly wanted it. So she let me go off to Florida, and I stood there for my 9th grade year of high school. And for my 10th grade year, I came right back to New York City because I just missed my family too much. My mom was here in New York, and all my friends, my family, all that stuff. So I came back to New York, and I met up with my best friend, and everything was going perfectly great. I mean, I was really happy to be back in New York. And literally, I'm gonna say, school started about September 8th. It always starts around September 8th here. I'd say about a week later, I met Joel. Not even, maybe 2 weeks later. I met him September 13 of 2009, I met Joel. And literally 5 days later, he asked me out and we started dating, which was September 18th of 2009. And how we met was kind of funny. It was the end of school, and me and Jasmine, my best friend, we were leaving school. It was the end of the day, and we went through a hallway that led to the exit, but right before we got to the exit, there was the band room. And Joey was always in the band room. He loves guitar. He still loves guitar. So he was by the band room, and he was holding this guitar, and I remember he was like fixing something on it or something like that. And Jasmine sort of waved at him. He waved back, and apparently they knew each other. He kind of glanced my way and noticed I was with Jasmine, and suddenly he started asking me what my name was. So I told him my name, and he was like, wow, that's a beautiful name. And it's funny because my ex actually had walked by the band room, and he gave us like a look, and he was like, like, let me find out, one of those kind of looks. Like, I don't know why, but as soon as Joey talked to me, I just melted. Like, I was a nerd. I just kept processing in my head how I never met him before, because he attracted me immediately. And in my school, it's a really small school that I went to, so I basically knew everyone. We were all comfortable with each other, so no one new really ever appeared. So when I saw Joey, and I'm sure he felt the same way when he saw me, we just immediately clicked. We were like, who the heck is this other person, and why haven't I ever seen them before, and they're kind of hot. So for the past 5 days after that, we just always found a way to bump into each other. I mean, literally in every class, I would raise my hand to go to the bathroom. Every single class I had to use the bathroom, and I would walk around the halls just hoping to see him. I remember this one day before we got together, he had grabbed my cell phone and he took off with it. Like, he just ran. Like, we were kind of playing around, and he grabbed my cell phone, looked at it, and he ran. And I chased after him, literally, through the halls, running full speed. And it was just so silly. And there's another point where he liked me so much that at lunchtime I was sitting with my friends, and he didn't know how to approach me. He's a grade higher than me, by the way. He was always a grade higher than me. He's also a year older than me. So when we were in the lunchroom, the lunchroom separated the grades and stuff. So my grade was here. I was sitting with my group, and his grade was over there. So he paid the lunch man $1. At the time, I didn't know that he did this. I just thought he was doing the garbage duty. But later on, he told me what he really did, and I laughed at him. I will forever hold this against him. But he paid the lunch man $1. The guy who, he would come around, this guy, with a garbage pail, and he would go through to each table and pick up the lunch trays, and we'd just dump it in the garbage. So Joey paid the guy $1 so that he can have the lunch duty for that day, so that he can drive the little garbage pail over to my table just to say hi to me. And I remember I was sitting on the table. I wasn't sitting on the seats. I was a sad child. I decided I wanted to be a rebel and sit on the table. So I was sitting on the table, and I was talking with my girlfriends, and out of the corner of my eye, one of my friends was like, hey, isn't that the guy you like? And I was like, who, where, what? And she was like, he's bringing the garbage can over here. And I was like, what? Oh my God, do I look good? Like, it was so funny. And then when he came, I just dumped my garbage pail in. He said hi to me. Both our cheeks turned red, and he left. And I think like a day after that, we finally got together. I mean, we were walking in the hall one day, and we were walking together. It was the end of the day, and one of Joel's friends was like, "You guys should just date already. It's so obvious." And Joey looked at me, and he was like, "Yeah, we should." And I kind of smirked, kind of looked down all shy or whatever. And he had asked me, he said, "Would you like to go out with me?" I said, "Sure." Haha, little giggles, all that stuff, a lovey-dovey. This is such a mushy video. So that day I said yes to him, and we held hands and we left the school. After that, things just went up and up and up. And I kind of feel like, looking back at it, our relationship took off, like, really fast, really, really fast. For example, we have these books. And I don't know if I ever explained this to you guys or if I ever mentioned it once, but we have these books. And what these books are is basically journals with each other. Let me show you how many books we accumulated over the years. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books. We have a 9th book, I think, or is this the... Yeah, we have a 9th book, but where it is, I don't know. I don't think we even finished it because then we moved in together and we stopped writing to each other. But basically what happened was, in the beginning of our relationship, Joel was always grounded. This child was always grounded. To the point where we couldn't even talk. He had a cell phone, I had a cell phone. We exchanged numbers, and I would never get to text him. Like, after school, we would lose contact because he was always grounded and his mom took his phone away. So I decided to concoct this idea on, we passed around a book to each other. So this is our first book ever. Just kind of cute. This is our very first book, and we started writing to each other October 13th of 09. So a month after we started, basically like close to a month after we started dating, we started doing these books. And throughout all these books is literally a humongous story about our freaking relationship. And I kind of read through them really quick because we've been together for 4 years, so it's kind of foggy, certain parts of our relationship. But I kind of skimmed through all 8 of them like a nutcase, but just so I can have every fact straight for you guys. Basically, 3 months into our relationship, we decided that we were in love with each other. I gave him a little key. It was like a little small key, and I attached it to a chain, and I gave it to him, and I told him that he had my heart. To the point where my brother actually snapped a picture of the exact moment when I gave him my heart. After that, things got even faster. Like, woof, took off. We weren't sexually active for a while, a long while. In the beginning, everything was just lovey-dovey. I mean, we started planning our life together at 3 months. And I know it sounds crazy and all that stuff, like, oh my god, that's so fast. But we were teenagers. I mean, we were head over heels for each other. Joey, I wasn't his first girlfriend, ever. But on my side, he also wasn't my first boyfriend, but he was kind of my first love. Like, the first guy I actually felt feelings for. My other boyfriends were kitty fling. You want to hear this story too, Mijita? Of how mommy and daddy got together? Yeah, she wanted to join us. Say hello, little big eyes. I've only had a total of 3 boyfriends. 2 before Joel, and him. He's my 3rd boyfriend ever. And Joey was a little heartthrob. He's had multiple girlfriends, so I'm not his first. But we kind of felt like we were each other's first true love, the person that we actually felt that we could be with forever and marry, whereas our other relationships, we kind of didn't feel that way. So that's kind of why we rushed into things, and we were so infatuated with each other, and we were just really, really in love. I still love Joey, of course. I'm always going to love him, but we were in our honeymoon stage. And things for us kind of started getting super serious around our 6-month mark. At 6 months, I mean, making out, we would make out like crazy. I mean, we couldn't keep our lips off each other. Like, we made out like crazy. Like teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember your teenage years and high school years, and if you're still in high school, then you know what I'm talking about. you look to the side and you see two teenagers locked lips in the corner of the hallway or something like that. Me and Joey's relationship kind of took off into this serious kind of part when we were at our 6th or 7th month of being in a relationship. We kind of went deeper into our relationship. We kind of took it to the next level, to the next step. We didn't lose our virginity to each other at that point. It kind of was just messing around, basically. It was sexual, but it wasn't virginity losing sexual, if you get my point. We both lost our virginities to each other. I lost my virginity to him when I was 16. He lost his to me when he was 17, I want to say. I could be totally not even getting this right. I know I have it in the books, but I'm not going through 8 of them to figure it out. Me and Joey have been together for so long, and in the beginning it was just amazing and it was great, and then it kind of started going downhill so fast. I mean, so downhill. We would fight really bad. I mean, we would scream to the top of our lungs at each other. Like, it was just really bad. We would fight over the most silliest things too. I mean, reading those books, looking back at it, it was just nonsense and things that we didn't even need to fight about. We just fought about it. Throughout our relationship, we had a lot of ups and downs. I mean, Joey, from the beginning, he was kind of a troubled child, and not troubled in the way where he was a bad seed, but his parents kind of suffocated him. He wasn't allowed to do a lot of things, which is why he was always grounded. And because he was always grounded and always suffocated, he lashed out to feel free. And I put my little munchkin in her little rocker. See, I'm so tired. She started yawning. She just got irritable and stuff like that. And for some reason, you just like that rocker, don't you? Like, it's more comfortable than mommy's lap. Going back to the point of talking about Joey's rebellion, kind of because of the fact that his family suffocated him so much and he lashed out so much, he kind of made friends with people who weren't the best people. They were just into things that were troublesome. I mean, I remember one time when we were in our first year of dating, and we had a stupid argument like teenagers do. We just fight over nonsense. And I remember I told him I wanted a break. And that's kind of how I learned that breaks don't work ever. But we went on a break. I asked him if we could go on a break. And he was so infatuated and in love with me that he couldn't take it. He hated it. He wanted to be with me. He just didn't know what to do. So he and a group of his friends got completely shit-faced, and I hate cursing, so anyways. He got so drunk in school. I remember that day really clear. I did not go to school that day. I was really sad that we broke up, so I made some lame excuse to my mom on how I'm sick. Yeah, Serenity, you're not getting away with that. I already know what you're doing. But I kind of told my mom that I was sick. I was always sick when I was with Joey. I don't want to go to school today, Mom. I don't be a while. When really, me and Joey are fighting. I don't want to see him in school. So it was one of those days, and we were on our break, and I get this phone call from my mom telling me that Joel just got suspended because he got super drunk in school, and his mom had to pick him up. That's a lot of the reason why me and Joey fought, because he was just so bottled up, that he was so rebellious. He did bad things, bad. The drinking in school. After that, he swore to me he would not ever drink again. I told him, seriously, dude, no more. When you're 21, go bananas safely. But until then, no bueno, not having it. I have many alcoholics in my family, and I don't need to be with an alcoholic or a borderline alcoholic. And since then, knock on wood, he's been really good. That's one promise, to tell you the honest truth, that he has not ever broken. He does not drink from that day forward. But a lot of factors, kind of made us, slowly over time, we kind of drifted apart. I mean, all the little fights and all the little things add up after a while. And sooner or later, you find that the things that you guys used to have in common, you no longer have in common. And all those little tiny fights that never were resolved, now they're big fights. And now they're big problems. And you don't know how to get through them. And that's kind of what's happening right now. I just wanted to kind of let you guys in a little bit, because I'm very private with my life. Even though I'm on YouTube, I do share a lot of things with you guys. I do keep my life very private. I mean, for one, I really don't like talking about my relationship and if it has rocky times or not. We've broken up a total of like for real broken up, not like, oh my god, I hate you, I'm not talking to you for 3 days, we're over kind of thing. No. Real, true breakups between me and Joel have literally, and I'm not lying, have only been 2 times. One time, when we were on our 2nd year together, it was a really bad breakup. Joey was going to a whole bunch of concerts, and I was totally not comfortable with that. You know, I was super insecure, and I didn't trust him and stuff, and trust is a really big thing in a relationship, and if you don't have any trust, you're gonna start fighting over everything. And we just started fighting over everything, to the point where he was like, forget it, we're not gonna be together. And his parents kicked him out of his house a lot, so it was in the summer, and he was not living with his parents, he was out in the streets, and he went to live with his buddy, and his buddy I didn't particularly like at the time, and I really didn't like him because I felt he was a bad influence, and Joey would just do everything that this guy did. I remember we broke up, and then I was a mess. I mean, I was a mess when we very first broke up. I called him like a crazy person every 2 seconds. I mean, I was young. I didn't know how to handle love. I didn't know how to handle it, and I'm not saying that now I know the ups and downs of love and I'm a love whiz. For now, me and Joey are just not happening. And it does make me really, really sad. And right now I'm not really showing how sad I am. But I am sad. I am hurt. I love him with every single piece of me. I mean, he's not only the father to my child, he's the love of my life. He's my first love. The first guy he's my first everything. My first real kiss. I mean, I've kissed my other boyfriends, but I don't know how to explain it. We only kissed with my other boyfriends like once or twice, and then that was it. He's my first long-term relationship, my first sexual relationship, my first child relationship. He's basically my first everything. The first guy I ever went out on a date with. The first guy I ever wanted to marry. Like, he's my first in so many things. So you can imagine how hard it is. A lot of people say you don't get over your first love, and right now I'm starting to believe that, because I don't know if I'd ever get over Joey. I know one day I probably would, but right now I don't even see that happening. But for now, we are just gonna see what happens, gonna play it by ear, I guess, and just take things slow, you know, just see what the wind blows our way. Like I explained before, if we find that we're happier when we're not together and just friends, then maybe it's best to be that way. I'm not gonna force something that isn't meant to be. And it does break my heart, but if it is that way, then it's that way. What really, when I sit down and really think about it, what kind of hurts me the most, that really gets to me and always makes me tear up, is the fact that Serenity is not going to grow up with her mom and her dad together in one house. She's always going to have her dad because he loves the heck out of her, and she's always going to have me because I'm her mommy and I love the heck out of her. But the only thing that really hurts is knowing that she's not going to grow up with her parents living together. And it hurts because I grew up without my parents living together. I mean, I got a little bit more time with them together than she would. But my parents, they left one another when I was 12. So I got a good 12 years of them being together. And she only got 3 months, which she's not going to remember at all, besides the videos and stuff. That's kind of the only thing that hurts me, and I know that things will work out because I turned out okay. What I'm going to do is, when she gets a little bit older, and if she ever asks me why her dad and me didn't work out, I'm just going to explain to her that sometimes people just don't work out, you know. I'm really going to try and have a real open and honest relationship between me and my daughter, because right now I have an open relationship with my mom, and we never had that before. And I just keep thinking back, if she only was like this before, then maybe things would have been different in my life, you know. That's kind of what I want to do with Serenity. I just want to be open and honest with her, and I'll explain to her why, and but it just doesn't change the fact that I'm going to be sad myself because she didn't get that. I know one day I'm going to get with a different person, not for a very, very long time. I'm totally done with relationships. If this is the end between me and Joey, I'm totally done with relationships for a long time. I'm just going to focus on her. But I know one day that I'll find another person, and I definitely want more kids. But it's just going to hurt knowing that her other brothers and her siblings are going to be with their dad and mom together, but she's going to not be. But that's pretty much what's going to hurt me the most, guys. And if you could relate, message me, because I am all ears. And that's another reason why I really just love being a YouTube vlogger, because of the fact that I can connect with you guys. So do not be afraid to message me on Facebook. I've already gotten a lot of messages from you guys, and it's so nice to hear that you guys are totally supportive, and it just makes me feel so much better. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. And I'm sure this video is super long, and I'm gonna have a blast editing all of this, but I'm sure it's really long. If you watched it till this end point, thank you so much. You're awesome for listening to me ramble, and I am so sorry that I got off topic so much. That's just how I am.